My name's Jack Alexander. I'm the temporary chair for today. And we have two items on the agenda. First off, I'd like to ask anybody got any pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we're okay. I've pretty well done the welcome. Applications for decisions. We do not have anything under the Committee of Adjustment this afternoon, but we do have general business, and that's to approve the minutes of the last meeting. I'd like to, any discussion on the minutes? Could I get a Joe? All in favor? Good. The other business is something new for us as the Committee of Adjustment. We've just been given this role I guess at the last meeting or two meetings ago. And we do have a thing with regards to that today. So I would ask the city individual to come up and explain what's going on, please.
Through you, Chair. Just to provide some more robust background for the purposes of the meeting is that the short-term accommodation bylaw was passed in 2025, which designated this committee as the appeals committee until a formal appeals committee was created for the intention of dealing with appeals for suspended, revoked, or refused licenses under the short-term accommodation bylaw. So that can happen for a variety of reasons, such as not abiding by the conditions of your license, not meeting certain requirements, or in this case, the property or the applicant property in question was within or had a licensed short-term accommodation within the 100-meter buffer zone or buffer radius from the applicant property. So the bylaw states under section 5 that thank you, Caleb. No, you're good. So the bylaw states under section 5 that any applicant short-term accommodation property would be subject to a search of a 100-meter radius from the property lines of the applicant property. The map, as displayed, identifies that 33 College Street East is an existing short-term accommodation with a valid license within the 100-meter buffer radius of the applicant property at 95 Getty Street. That is the basis for the denial. There are some secondary concerns with the application, but that is all dependent on how this appeal process goes today, on whether or not they get addressed in the future. So what the committee is being asked to do today is to review essentially the question of radius here and make a determination on how you guys would like to proceed, whether you'd like to uphold the denial, or whether you'd like to amend the denial.
Does anyone from the committee have any questions with regards to this?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Does the bylaw specifically clarify, like in that radius you seem to have put a pin, does it exactly clarify where we start the measurement from and where we end the measurement from?
Through you, Chair. Yes, it does. It does specify from the applicant property boundary. So it takes the square of the parcel line as identified through our GIS mapping system, and it makes a radius from 100 meters from that property line.
So the property line closest to versus the next closest property line, or which property lines, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Through you, Chair. So for the applicant property, it takes the entire square of the parcel. So all 4 property lines are measured from a radius of 100 meters out. So it takes the square and it draws its radius in terms of the square. Yeah, and if a licensed short-term accommodation is within that radius, then that is grounds for denial under the bylaw.
That is the dark spot on the circle.
Through you, Chair, yes, the applicant property is the darker green circle, and the lighter green circle is the existing licensed short-term accommodation.
Are there any other questions?
Through you, Chair. What are we actually talking about? This is nice and it says 100 meters. Are we talking about a 5-meter outage, 10-meter outage, 20-meter? I don't know exactly how close we are to the 100 meters.
Through you, Chair. So our mapping requirements actually don't specify how far it has to be away as long as it's within the 100-meter radius. So we do not have that measured for you today.
Any other questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, is there, the applicant for 95 Geddes Street, the one in question, is there other short-term accommodation properties that are owned by them in this city?
Through you, Chair. The owner of 95 Getty Street is actually here today. He might be better suited to answer that question.
Okay, that's a yes. Another follow-up there, has there been any compliance issues with other properties that might be owned by the same individual?
Through you, Chair, not to my knowledge.
I guess what I'm struggling with is like, they look like they're on the very close to the edge, the last 10 meters of this 100 meter radius. So, and if you look at it from like the College Geddes Street perspective, there's a good 3 properties in between there. I understand the intent of the bylaw and why the city wouldn't want to have that. I just don't know, is this a good practice to be this stringent? Like if it was right next door or maybe even 2 doors down, but we're talking at least 3 doors down, and that one's quite a large corner property there. So anyways, I'll let someone else ask questions if need be. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the panel? Thank you very much, and I will ask the owner to come up of the building, and we do have some questions for him.
Hi everyone. My name is Blair McGrath. I'm the owner of the property at 95 Geddes. So basically, I did the measurement, and I realize it's on the edge on this one for the 100 meters, and I wanted to just clarify. I think there's a map that might be in the material there, and so if you actually measure from the existing STA over to the driveway off of College, we actually have two proper curved driveways that are, yeah, sorry?
Do we have a copy of that map?
It was the one that I emailed yesterday.
Oh, okay. Just so we can pass it around.
Yeah, sure, here's a couple copies of that. Yeah, there's a couple more. So, yeah, the property that was submitted for the application is shown there on the right, and we actually have 2 driveways. One's off of College. It's a proper curved driveway, and there's one off of Geddes. So I was asking the committee to consider the appeal based on the fact that if we measure from the College Street driveway, which is where this STA would be accessed from, over to the existing STA off of College, that you get to like 114 meters is what that measurement comes out as. So really that's kind of the basis of the appeal, and I guess it's a question of a few meters. If you do measure it in another method, you get it under the 100. I think it was something like 98 meters or 97, so it's close if you measure it one way, but if you measure it this way, it's over. So that's kind of the basis for the appeal that I was asking for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does the committee have any questions for this gentleman? Joe?
So I can ask you, Mr. Chair. The one on 33, the STA that you have now, could you just give me some background on that? That's the property rate as you're going into the intersection, or at the end of the That's not his. It's not his? It's not yours. Oh, I thought he owned it too.
No, that's a different
Oh,
owner.
okay. Do you have any other
Yeah.
STAs in the city?
Yeah, I have one out in Honeywell Corners,
Okay.
right there by the golf course. There's
Yeah.
one there.
Oh, well, that's a good
Yeah.
spot to have it. No, I don't really have any further questions then. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions with regards to this? Seeing none, would you like to go with the bylaw, or would you like to do otherwise?
I'm leaning towards making an exception. Yeah. I don't really see a problem with it. You know, the bylaw says 100 meters, but it's a minor variance to that, so that's my thoughts.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else? Okay. There's a motion. Could we have a motion on the floor to go what you said, Joe, please? You need to, could you, yeah.
Chair, this is, semantics are correct, yes. So the motion would be to grant the appeal? Okay, I would put that motion out there for secondary.
The motion has been seconded. I'd like to have a vote on this. All in favor? Motion carried. Your appeal has been accepted.
Okay, great. Thanks very much to the committee for accepting it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Back to our regular meeting. Correspondence? Any correspondence? No correspondence? Adjournment? Adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.